everybody. This is Danielle with Murder and Coffee. And Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. It's a nice surprise for me to do this on Christmas because I literally have been super crazy busy. I want to give a shout out. One of my really good friends, Kristen, got me a Murder and Coffee mug for Christmas. Look how bomb it looks. Yes. I love it. I think that's one of my new favorites. Just saying. Alright. So, what better way to do Christmas Eve than with Jehovah's Witnesses? I have a sick sense of humor. Alright. So, like I said, Tuesdays are going to be strictly like cult specials unless I find something else. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get this going. Let's see here. Jehovah's Witnesses. The group emerged from a Bible student movement founded in the late 1870s by Charles Taze Russell. I'm going to assume it's Taze. Taze sounds way better, but, you know, can't always get what you want. Who also co-founded Zion's Watchtower Tract Society in 1881 to organize and print the movement's publications. A leadership dispute after Russell's death resulted in several groups breaking away, with Joseph Franklin Rutherford retaining control of the Watchtower Society and its properties. So in other words, it's like any other fucking, yeah, religion, cult, dynasty, whatever you want to call it. I really don't feel like, yeah, let's put it this way. Someone's going to end up being offended by this shit. So during the course of his ministry, Russell disputed many beliefs of mainstream Christianity, including immortality of the soul, hellfire, predestination. I've never heard of that word. The fleshly return of Jesus Christ, the Trinity, and the burning of the world. All right, then. Sounds like a normal religion to me. So, in 1876, Russell met Nelson H. Barber. Later that year, they jointly produced the book Three Worlds, which combined restitutionist views with end-of-time prophecy. The book taught that God's dealings with humanity were divided dispensationally, each ending with a harvest, that Christ had returned as an invisible spirit, being 1874 inaugurating the harvest of the gospel age, and that 1914 would mark the end of a 2,520-year period called the Gentile times. Rutherford made significant organizational and doctrinal changes, including adoption of the name Jehovah's Witnesses in 1931 to distinguish them from other Bible student groups and symbolize a break with the legacy of Russell's traditions. So, pretty much, cults are like religions. You have sects, aka sections. Almost like a department. Think of it that way. You're in a store. You got clothing department, frozen foods, that sort of thing. So, they took a normal Bible study group and pretty much made their own section of it. Said, nope, we're Jehovah's Witnesses. We don't believe in what you believe in. That's pretty much what they did there. So, Jehovah's Witnesses are best known for their door-to-door preaching, distributing literature such as The Watchtower and Awake, and for refusing military service and blood transfusions. They consider the use of God's name vital for proper worship. They reject Trinitarianism, inherent immortality of the soul, and hellfire, which they consider to be unscriptural doctrines. They consider secular society to be morally corrupt and under the influence of Satan. And most limit their social interaction with non-witnesses. Congregational disciplinary actions include disfellowshipping, their term for formal expulsion or shunning. In January of 1917, the Watchtower Society's legal representative, Joseph Franklin Rutherford, was elected as its next president. His election was disputed, and members of the board of directors accused him of acting in an autocratic and secretive manner. Pretty much, he was power hungry. Best way to put it. The division between his supporters and opponents triggered a major turnover of members over the next decade. In June of 1917, he released The Finished Mystery as a 7th volume of Russell's Studies in the Scriptures series. The book, published as the posthumous work of Russell, was a compilation of his commentaries on the Bible books of Ezekiel and Revelation, plus numerous editions by Bible students Clayton Woodworth and George Fisher. It strongly criticized Catholic and Protestant clergy and Christian involvement in the Great War. As a result, Watchtower Society directors were jailed for sedition under the Espionage Act in 1918, and members were subjected to mob violence. The directors were released in March of 1919, and charges against them were dropped in 1920. Let's fast forward to July 26, 1931, at a convention in Columbus, Ohio. Rutherford introduced the new name Jehovah's Witnesses based on Isaiah 43:10. "You are my witnesses," declares Jehovah. "Yes, my servant whom I have chosen, so that you may know and have faith in me and understand that I am the same one." Pretty much what I gathered while researching this group is, just like any other religion, they took scriptures that fed into their bullshit. And therefore, that is how they keep people coming in and keeping them in. They're scaring them. Sorry, I still have a head cold, guys. I cannot beat this thing. It's killing me. Children in this religion are allowed an education, but are told that their spiritual growth with God is more important. They have to do service hours. This is such as knocking on doors, putting together pamphlets, helping out with Bible studies, watching the other children, stuff like that. It is intense. Organizational structure is the governing body, and then Watchtower Bible, and then Tract Society corporations. Their beliefs or practices are salvation, eschatology, the 144,000 faithful and discreet slave hymns, God's name, blood, and discipline. So pretty much the blood one is pure blood. Like, they don't believe in mixing of the blood. So that's why they don't do blood transfusions, some medication. They don't donate blood. It is insane. Literature for this group: The Watchtower, Awake, and New World Translation. Teaching programs are the Kingdom Hall, which is their church, Gilead School. So sociologist Brian R. Wilson, in his consideration of 5 religious groups, including Jehovah's Witnesses, noted that each of the denominations exists in a state of tension with the wider society, imposes tests of merit on would-be members, exercises stern discipline, regulating the declared beliefs and the life habits of members, and prescribing and operating sanctions for those who deviate, including the possibility of expulsion. Demands sustained and total commitment from its members, and the subordination and perhaps even the exclusion of all other interests. So, a sociological comparative study by the Pew Research Center found that Jehovah's Witnesses in the U.S. ranked highest in statistics for getting no further than high school graduation. In 1933, there were approximately 20,000 Jehovah's Witnesses in Nazi Germany, of whom about 10,000 were imprisoned. Of those, 2,000 were sent to Nazi concentration camps, where they were identified by purple triangles. As many as 1,200 died, including 250 who were executed. In Canada during World War II, Jehovah's Witnesses were interned in camps, along with political dissidents and people of Chinese and Japanese descent. Jehovah's Witnesses faced discrimination in Quebec until the Quiet Revolution, including bans on distributing literature and holding meetings. In 1951, about 3,900 Jehovah's Witnesses in the Soviet Union were deported to Siberia as part of Operation North in April of 1951. In April of 2017, the Supreme Court of Russia labeled Jehovah's Witnesses an extremist organization, banned its activities in Russia, and issued an order to confiscate the organization's assets. Followers are discouraged from having close relationships with those who are not a part of their faith. People who are worldly are seen as bad influences or bad associations. So pretty much people like me, you wouldn't want to see hanging out with one of them. Just kind of ridiculous. I mean, come on, people. The subject of intense international criticism, lawsuits, and a royal commission, the two-witness rule, and the Jehovah's Witnesses' interpretation of Scripture that in the absence of a confession, there must be 2 material witnesses to a sin for them to be acted upon. Critics say the policy protects accused pedophiles because there are rarely witnesses to sexual abuse. The Jehovah's Witnesses governing body insists they abhor sexual abuse, do not protect pedophiles, and educate followers on protecting children. So the stories told to The Guardian ranged from events decades ago to more recent, and many of those who came forward have now contacted police. They told The Guardian, it's a website, a news website, about an organization that policies itself and teaches members to avoid interaction with outside authorities. A rule set by the main governing body of the religion that means for child sexual abuse to be taken seriously, there must be a witness to it. Alleged child sex abuse victims claiming they were forced to recount allegations in front of their abuser. Young girls who engage in sexual activity before marriage being forced to describe it in detail in front of male elders. That one kind of pisses me off, you guys. I'm just going to say that. No child or young woman or a young girl should have to sit in front of a man who's older than her or the man who did it and go through details. He touched me here. This is what we were doing before this happened. You should not have to do that. You should be able. These are adults that you're supposed to trust. And you can't fucking do it. You cannot fucking trust these people. Oh my God. Sorry, this is totally against everything I was raised to believe. And I'm not even a JW, guys. I'm not. So, New York's Child Victims Act could theoretically invite a flood of lawsuits against the religious group. But fear and a lack of evidence are looming over these people because there is literally a statute of limitations. That is what we are told. We decide to come forward about something, we're told, oh no, there's a statute of limitations. You can't do this. Let's see here. Kind of fucked up. In 2013, after Debbie McDonald left her Jehovah's Witness congregation in McAlester, Oklahoma, she went to police and told them members had been sitting outside her apartment, monitoring her every move. The witnesses, she said, were trying to make the case that she was unfit to be a mother to her son, on account of being in a relationship with a woman. But it was something else that she told detectives that most alarmed the officers. She said, you would think an organization that would allow me to be molested for years could now just let me go in fucking peace. I added the fucking to that. It's not in the quote. So, this presents an enormous hurdle for victims. Child abuse doesn't happen out in the open, Schmaltz said. It happens in secret and so forth. So it's unlikely that you're going to have two witnesses. Watchtower has also claimed in previous lawsuits that since elders serve as the organization's version of a clergy, child abuse accusations fall under clergy penitent, I cannot talk today, privilege, and don't have to be reported to the police. Sorry, that's a fucking joke. You'll see them defend that they didn't have to report because the information was taken in under ecclesiastical privilege, said Todd Mercer, another attorney representing McDaniel. Above that, they're arguing for the separation of church and state on a constitutional level. In March of 1997, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, the nonprofit organization that oversees the Jehovah's Witnesses, sent a letter to each of its 10,883 U.S. congregations and to many more congregations worldwide. The organization was concerned about the legal risk posed by possible child molesters within its ranks. The letter laid out instructions on how to deal with a known predator. Write a detailed report answering 12 questions. Was this a one-time occurrence, or did the accused have a history of child molestation? How is the accused viewed within the community? Does anyone else know about the abuse? And mail it to Watchtower's headquarters in a special blue envelope. Keep a copy of the report in your congregation's confidential file. The instructions continued. And do not share it with anyone. This was before you had the pedophile map that you can download on Google. This actually, like, seriously annoys me. These people disgust me. In a statement to Newsweek, the U.S. branch Christian Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses said it would not address the cases out of respect for the judicial process and the privacy of those involved. Our stand on the subject of child abuse is very clear. We abhor child abuse in any form. It added, over the years, Watchtower's publications have addressed this topic with a view to equipping parents to protect their children. In addition, Watchtower's practice is to always follow the law, and we support the efforts of elders and congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses to do the same. So here's what we know about this organization. They're not a church. They are just that, a fucking organization that just takes the congregation's money. These people are paying money to stay into a church or in an organization. They can give two shits less about them. See, I grew up with Jehovah's Witnesses. I did. And none of them were like this. They weren't shunned. They were allowed to talk to me and hang out with me. And this is what is so super weird to me. I saw a different side of this 20 years ago. 20 years ago. Give or take. So it is super fucking weird to me. An organization that allows children to decide on an education, first off, no. An organization that hides child abuse of many kinds has an insane rule that if a mother and father are shunned, they keep the children. Because the parents are afraid to ruin their lives, because that's what they're taught. Oh my God. I'm getting fired up right now. Sorry. There are plenty of ways that this is not a church. It's an organization. That's all it is. This organization has been labeled a cult. They have been labeled a fucking cult because of the way it is ran. The way that they keep the group of people who are in because they threaten with impending death and doom. They have insane fucking rules. No blood transfusions when they are necessary for a condition. They are not allowed to have friends outside of the organization. They are not allowed to talk to their parents or children if they are disfellowshipped. They do not join the military. They are not allowed to talk to anyone who is considered a worldly being. The list just goes on and on and on and on. The fact that this group of people follow the scriptures that are beneficial to them and nobody else is fucking insane. Like, they are taking one little part of a scripture and pretty much adding the dark side to it. The fuck? I'm sorry, but that is seriously fucking nutso to me. Seriously nutso. Alright. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this organization. Let's have a serious discussion about it. I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are on Facebook, on our page. Shoutouts. What was I listening to? True Crime Garage. Been listening to that one. Criminally Listed has a new video out. Go check him out. Crime Vault. What else? I've been watching A Killer Speaks on Hulu. That one's good. What else? Sorry guys, I'm tired. It's been a long week already. By the time you're watching this, it's Tuesday, so I'm filming and it's a Monday. What else was there? My Favorite Murder and Crime Junkie also have new ones. If you have any recommendations for podcasts that I should check out or that you personally like that I haven't heard of, put it down below. I've also been listening to Dateline while I'm at work. Actually got my new hire hooked on it. Totally worth it. Shout outs. Kristen. Mwah. Love ya. My husband for putting up with my bullshit and editing my fucking crap and listening to me fucking mumble. What else? My cat, because she's over there drinking. Just kidding. Yeah, y'all have a great Christmas, and I will be back on Friday, with another episode. It's gonna be a, 2-story one, and maybe I'll even have a top 10 list. So until then, you guys, drink your coffee. Watch those documentaries, TV shows, everything that you've been doing, and I will catch you guys on Friday. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, happy third night of Hanukkah, because this is coming out on the third night of Hanukkah. And yeah, I will see you guys on Friday. Mwah. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe.